Hello and welcome to a humble Highland home. Thank you so much for joining me here today as we do a little bit of a recap and we set our priorities for things that we are aiming to do here on the Croft in 2025. Some outdoor jobs are weather dependent, so sometimes our working window can be very short. On the blackboard we have last year's priorities, along with a few doodles from our youngest granddaughter. I have previously done 2 other videos showing us setting and working on our priorities over the past couple of years. One's called Finish What We Started and the other one is to continue to finish what we started. I will leave a link to those in the description below. Now I must admit I am guilty of not appreciating just how much time some of the jobs can take, and I don't plan in enough time for them, which can lead me to feeling a little bit frustrated. So this year I'm breaking down our tasks a little further to make them a little bit more manageable and in the time that we have. But sometimes it's okay to plod along at something knowing that it's heading in the right direction step by step. Now, just to recap the areas that we focused on last year, the biggest one was the log storage shed. It's taken a while, but Adam has done a superb job of getting the structure up and working for us. We both are so pleased with how it's turned out, and Adam has been busy filling it with the wood from the tree that we had taken down. There's still things to finish off that will get done all in good time, but it's not Adam's main focus this year as something else has crept up the list of priorities for him. We will, however, keep filling it up throughout the year just gradually, as our aim is to have 3 years worth of wood, 1 year in each of the bays. One of the other areas on the list for last year was to finish repointing the gable end of the cottage. Fortunately, we didn't get near this, but this will have to wait a while yet. 2 items on my little list from last year was the garden steps and gabion baskets. The garden steps seem to be taking forever with all the digging that I've been doing and still needs to be done. However, progress has and is being made. Just now we're in our final week of January, and when the weather allows and the ground is not too frozen, I've been doing a little bit at a time. It's really turned out to be 3 jobs in one, as I dig out the earth and then move it to fill holes and level uneven ground around the property, and then the bigger stones and rocks continue to be added to the piles, and I've started using some to rebuild some of the walls in other areas of the garden. I feel like I've been pulling this area back for so long now. I'm really looking forward to the rebuild and watching our vision come alive. But first, I need to keep this area as clear as I can so it is safe for me to work. Another one of my items for last year was the kitchen garden development plan. I really wanted to hone in on increasing our food production last year, always with the thought of some for us, some for nature, and some to share with family, friends and the local community. And this is why I was delighted to get the wee veggie shack up and running that sits by the side of the road for passers-by to either buy, swap veg, or I offer things up for free that I have an abundance of. It's looking a little forlorn just now in the winter months, but hopefully, all being well, we'll have enough to run the shack again this year once the garden wakes up again and starts to provide its produce once again. We had lots of successes with the veggies that we grew, but we also had some that did not want to grow or were eaten by slugs or other wee beasties. But there's always an area to learn, and sometimes there seems to be no rhyme nor reason that in that growing season something just doesn't want to work out. So this area features on my list for this year once again. I'm trying to recover the plants with this fleece, but unfortunately it's frozen, so it's not playing ball. And with two kitty cats that think it's a game, it's just not going to happen, so I'm giving up. So this year, along with lots of other life commitments, first and foremost, we will be focusing on keeping everything maintained. Then Adam will be focusing on replacing the house boiler and moving it outside. The house boiler has come right to the top of the list of priorities for Adam. It is a very old boiler and we've gradually been getting prepared for the changeover, but this year it really needs to happen, just not when it's snowing. And my main focus is to continue to build on the work that I did with the garden steps last year, and my aim this year is to get 3 of the garden steps in place. Ideally, I would like to get more done, but I'm going to stick to 3 so that I can make it a little bit more manageable. And then I hope to get 2 gabion baskets in place and filled. Then hopefully the gabion basket at the other side of the step will mirror the one that's already in place, and then the other one will be part of the wall in front of the banking. Once I've dug all the soil out, of course. But before I can do anything else with the steps, I need to enlist a helping hand from Adam, as there is a few stones that are very, very heavy and I need a wee hand to get them moved. And I also need a wee bit of advice so I know where the next step is going to go. I don't want to be digging for digging's sake. So to help me with the steps, Adam had made me a wee jig so that I know where the next step should go. Adam's done all the calculations for how high and how deep the steps need to be, but that's what the jig is based on. I'm more of a visual person, so I need to see this jig in action so that I know how to use it. And whilst Adam's here, I may as well just show him the stones that I need to be moved. So at least we can see where the jig is going to go, and the stones are actually in the way of it working properly just now. And always, safety first. Adam has pointed out that my bootlace has come undone. So whilst I tie it, Adam is trying to tell you that I'm tying my bootlace, and I'll be back in a moment. Now, although my main focuses of the year will be getting the 3 garden steps in place and digging out the areas for the 2 gabion baskets and getting them filled, I still will be keeping the kitchen garden maintained and productive, with just one area being developed. I'm not sure which area this will be yet, as there are quite a few to choose from, but I don't want to be in the situation where there's no development work gets done in the kitchen garden because I don't know where to start. That's the paralysis by analysis. I will just have to choose one, and the rest will have to wait. So that's our plan for 2025. Adam will be installing a new boiler. I'll be working on 3 garden steps, 2 gabion baskets, and 1 area of development in the kitchen garden. Other things will come and go, but we'll get back on track and we'll just start the next bit. So it felt right that we remind ourselves to start where we are, but we do need to start. And what a perfect way to end this video, as Adam has put together my old workbench that is now going to get moved into the shed. And no doubt you'll see this workbench in many videos to come. But for now, thank you all so much for joining me here today. Take care of yourself and others, and I'll see you in the next video.